Hey guys, Dan, bodybuilder from Thailand, here in Belarus, Eastern Europe, Minsk, the capital city. So this is way different here than Asia, and I had a similar experience when I went to South America, except for here it was much less as far as like getting like culture shock, because when you go to new places where you've never been before, that are like different cultures completely, or different lifestyles, you get culture shock for somewhere between like 3 days to like 2 or even 3 weeks, where you won't be hungry and you'll have a lot of energy and you'll feel like very strange. And the reason for this is because like body language of the people is different. It's not what you're used to, and so you can't predict what's going to happen. And if you've never been like in cultures where you know, you've had an experience to experience that, you know, people's body language being different than what you're used to and your surroundings being different than what you're used to, you wouldn't even like know that this is a thing, because you're only used to what you're used to. And so what happens is that the nonverbal communication that you're used to monitoring and you're not even aware of because it's just part of your life, it's totally different when you go to new types of people, and you notice that you are no longer able to predict what's going to happen as you're walking by people, or as you see people. You can't predict it. And it's a very strange feeling, very interesting feeling. And this is called culture shock. And it has a physical effect on your body. In Belarus, I only had culture shock for 3 days, but it was definitely a significant culture shock. When I was in Colombia in South America, I had it for about 3 weeks. South America is incredibly dangerous, you guys. You know, I don't have any desire to go back there, because it's not safe. It's not safe. Pretty much everybody here speaks Russian only. Before I came here, I studied Russian every day for 1 to 2 hours per day on an app called Duolingo. And when I was in Colombia, for example, I was using that app also to learn Spanish, and it's very effective for learning languages. But on the other hand, in Thailand, I can speak enough to Thai to get what I need and get around and everything, but they speak English pretty well in Thailand. Here in Belarus, they do not speak English. In South America, they do not speak English. So it's more like mandatory that you have to speak their language. But in Thailand, the way that I learned to get the language skills was from dating with girls and them helping me. And then also talking with like street food people and taxi drivers and stuff, pointing at things and having them tell me the word. You know, Thai, point at it and say Thai, and then them telling me the word. And that was actually very effective after, you know, being there for 2, 3, 4 years in Thailand at gaining language skills. Anyways, yeah, so I'm walking through the central part of the capital city now, and as you can see, it is way less densely populated than other areas of the world. This is the main center of the city. But as you can see, it's not like back to back cars, traffic, or anything like that. It's the metro station up there where the people are going down. It's public transportation. Interesting mural over here. You see the style of architecture that you see is called post-Soviet style architecture. It's like very box looking, and everything here has like sharp edges and looks box looking. And there's like a power projection, and basically everything that they build or everything that they decorate. It always is shapes that are meant to show like power. You can just see it when you're looking at it. You see here, there's this mural here. It's left over from the Soviet days. See two guys that, you know, look like they're on steroids, you know, with a hammer and sickle there. So it's pretty typical. You know what, there's a lot of sculptures around here, and when you look at the sculptures, almost all of them have that, you know, like Greek god type of look to them. They're very imposing sculptures, and they are they show power. It's power projection is something that I have noticed big time here. The people are really chill. Speaking Russian is very difficult. I can read it fine, because you know, like see here, this right here, it says Priar Bank. That's how you read. It's called the Cyrillic alphabet, so it's a different alphabet than you see in English letters. Like you see this across the street here that says you see it has the 40, and then below that it has a word. It says Rakovaskaya, and then the vertical sign above that says Belinvestbank. So looking at some banks here. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff from like World War II. You see vehicles left over from World War II. It's the same way in the Philippines, which is really interesting. Like the buses in the Philippines, instead of using you know, a normal bus, what they actually use is these things called jeepneys, which were used to transport soldiers during World War II in the Philippines. You know, the Philippines suffered more casualties than any other country during World War II. They got totally slaughtered because of Japanese occupation and warring in that area, which is very unfortunate. But you know what, the Philippines, I would say, out of all the Asian countries that I've been to, the Philippines definitely have, I mean, obviously there's a lot of crime there, and you know, a lot of stuff that is going on that is not very nice to deal with, but they have some of the warmest hearts, if not the warmest hearts, of any culture of people that I have ever witnessed. As far as like finding wife material in Asia that is going to love you and is going to be 100% dedicated to you, like the Philippines takes it, like no doubt, by such a wide margin. You know, they're not looking for screwing you or stuff like that. For this video here, I wanted to go for a walk with you guys, just show you what it's like. You know, I'm just gonna keep it rolling, you know, as I walk, and just show you what it's like to go for a walk in Belarus. So, you know, I'm in northeastern Europe right now. When I left America and I was in the airport, they're kind of like guarding the borders a little bit about like even letting you out. So after I, you know, showed my ticket to like go into the plane, and I was walking down the tunnel to get into the plane, there was a US border and customs agent that stopped me, and they were stopping everyone that got onto the plane right before the door of the plane, and asking you serious questions about what you were doing, what your job is, going through my passport before they would let me out of America, and asking me questions on each individual country that I had been to. It was very bizarre. I've never experienced anything like that. I was in California, you know, socialist California. Man, with all of that bullshit that's going on over there in the USA. Man, that stuff is stressful. I had to go back to the USA because of I was living in Vietnam, as you guys know, and then in March 23rd, that's when they started the lockdowns, and that's when I went back to the USA. You know, I thought, you know, oh, it's USA, you know, it'd be back to normal in a few weeks, but that was not the case. And you know, stuck there until August 17th, when I came here. You guys should be following my Instagram at Bodybuilder in Thailand for like daily updates on what I'm doing, because I post there every day. And if you guys like my content too, like you like truth shit, you know, it's not just gear with me. You know, I'll say anything if it's true. I am the antithesis to lies and deception. So and then my podcast too, if you guys didn't know, I started the steroids podcast, www.steroidspodcast.com, which is that, and the book that I wrote, you know, UG2R, is the tools to completely remove yourself from the lies and deception of the fitness industry exist in those two places. So I would heavily involve checking all that stuff out. You can also listen to the podcast on Spotify, and on iTunes, Apple Podcasts app.